So at the beginning of my degree, I failed all of my classes my first semester,
Okay.
which is not something I tell many people, just because on some level it feels embarrassing. I ruined this. It's done. What happened was I really just got into the life of friends and socializing and really didn't put the time into school. And I failed all my classes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Talks with Janesh. In today's episode, we have Lindsay Newman here, who is a business student here at Memorial University. Throughout her university life, she has worked in many different departments, including the student life, the Mansu, the residence, and has held many executive positions on different clubs and societies. Volunteering on campus has been a major component of her university life, and she credits that for building her skills and experiences. It has enabled her to find full-time employment even before graduation. How cool is that? So without further ado, Lindsay, welcome to Talks with Janesh. How are you feeling today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
Fantastic. Even better, you're here today. So this is one question that I've been wanting to ask you for a long time. Throughout your university life, actually even throughout your entire life, did you ever imagine you would get a chance to sit and talk to Janesh and have a conversation?
Listen, this is a huge honor. I'm very honored to be here.
So tell us what brought you to Memorial University. Why MUN?
So I grew up in Cornerbrook, Newfoundland, which is about 7 hours from St. John's.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, when we were growing up, MUN was always what people talked about. People didn't talk about leaving the province. It was always MUN, MUN, MUN. So it just seemed like that was the number one option. And of course, the hot topic as of recently, cheap tuition, really kept me here. I originally wanted to go to culinary school, which was in another Atlantic province, but of course, the moving costs and stuff like that would have been a lot more. So I decided to stay here at MUN, do my business degree, so that after I finished my business degree, I could go off and do a culinary degree, open my own restaurant.
For sure.
Those plans have changed now. I don't know if I want to open a restaurant anymore. But the cheap tuition and also just the accessibility to where I was living, that's definitely what made me choose MUN.
Definitely, yeah. So tuition has been a major factor for so many people, including international students, myself included, and that's a topic. I'm going to make another video on that topic where the tuition is increased and stuff. So I know you've done extensive amount of volunteering. So how has volunteering helped you personally in your life?
Oh gosh, volunteering has helped me more than I think I could even put into words.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I started volunteering at the Student Volunteer Bureau here at MUN. A few years ago, my friend was the coordinator at the time, asked me if I would like to start volunteering for him. I was a little bit nervous too, just because I had a lot on my plate at the time. But that's really what kind of brought me into the world of volunteering. So from the SVB, I then branched off into things like the Student Experience Office. I started volunteering off campus a bit. And ultimately, to me, it's what really built my skill sets. So I'm very fortunate that, I'm not graduated yet and I already have a full-time job with Skills Canada and Newfoundland Labrador. Yeah, super awesome. And I credit it totally to volunteering. The thing with paid jobs is that, you need to have 5 years experience in order to land a job. And it's just
how are you going to get that right? Like just upon graduation. So congratulations, you've already got your full-time employment with Skills Canada. That's amazing. I think we first met even through volunteering. That was Make Midterm Matter when we went to Signal Hill.
Yes.
And Taylor was also with us that time, I think.
Yeah. So, and Kirkland and Sanj, there was a few people. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, yeah, you remember the names of I've been out of touch with everyone. But it was a good time then.
Absolutely.
Most students usually DM me on Instagram saying what major they should select. So when you went into business, when you came out of high school, how did you know that you wanted to do business? Was it something like you've always wanted to and you went straight in, or were you also in a confused state?
I was definitely confused. I really, really, really wanted to do cooking. Like that's what I wanted to do when I left high school. I started cooking at a young age and I really enjoyed it. And I actually started a baking business when I was in high school through Youth Ventures. Yeah. So I had a lot of passion for being in the kitchen. Again, like the culinary, you could do culinary here in Newfoundland, but the programs elsewhere outside of the province seem to be the best. But again, I was just coming out of high school. I didn't have a whole lot of money. So I wanted to kind of stick around Newfoundland for a little bit. And that's when I decided to pursue business because I knew at some point if I did pursue culinary, I would ultimately want to open my own restaurant. So I decided, well, I'll get the business skills first, and then I'll get the cooking skills second.
For sure, that's a great thought process. Business will also help you to understand the foundations and everything. That's good job.
Thank you.
So we all get busy in life, and you're always doing something new. Whether with Newfoundland Eats or with the Mansu, the residents. How do you make time for your studies and your assignments? How do you manage your schoolwork along with your other jobs?
So that's a really good question, and it's a question I get a lot.
Yeah.
Google Calendar is honestly my savior. Like, I would not be able to function without Google Calendar. So essentially, what I do is like I'm very literal about my time. So, for example, if I have an assignment coming up, I know that yes, it's probably going to take me 2 hours to get the assignment done. But how long is it going to take me to find sources? And how long is it going to take me to actually get the motivation to do it? So I'm very literal about that time. So what I do is I like to overestimate my time. So if an assignment I think is going to take about 2 hours, then I give myself 4 hours.
Nice.
And throughout the week, I'll give myself 4 hours of time, whether it's in the evening, during lunch breaks, and make sure I have those pockets of time, and I stick myself to making sure that I pursue that during that time. And it just helps me because it helps me at the beginning of the week. Like, for example, someone asked me to hang out on Thursday evening, let's say, and I say yes, and then all of a sudden Thursday evening comes around and haven't started my assignment yet, and it's due on Friday. So it's just really making sure that for me, I have those time slots pocketed in so that I can anticipate what I'm going to need to do. And if an emergency comes up, well, then what I do is I immediately move that time slot to another day, maybe the next day or the day after.
For sure. And also, I guess, helps you to see in beforehand what you have planned for the entire week. So if someone comes with you, let's go shoot a video for this, and you can say, oh, well, this day I'm busy, we can go another day. And so it's great. Google Calendars, I've also used it throughout my degree. I never knew about it. My roommate introduced me to it. So
It's a good little tool.
yeah. So what's your favorite place to hang out on campus?
Oh gosh, that is such a hard question. I really, of course, love the Student Volunteer Bureau. Ever since I got involved, I've always loved the energy there.
I've always seen you in there.
Yeah, it's just such a great place to hang out. It's like the bright yellow office on campus that's always full of people.
Yeah.
And of course, before COVID, I loved being around people. I loved being around students. I loved meeting new people. And the SVB was somewhere I could really do that. But I also really enjoy the Student Experience Office. Shannon and Lisa and Julia and all the crew that's in the Student Experience Office, I learn so much from them every time I'm around them. And they're almost like my moms in a weird way.
Yeah.
So
Shannon, I've worked with her, and great person, and great. She's helped me so much, and I've done MUSEP jobs with her for I think 2 or maybe 3 semesters.
Yeah, she's amazing. So I just really like being around that office because I don't know, it's just cool to be around such cool people. So
yeah, for sure. Also, you get your own little office kind of a thing in there, so that's there. So in life, there's always a time when a person feels low. Maybe it's because of a poor test, or family issues, or could be anything. Lost a job. So what was your situation like, and how did you deal with it? How did you overcome it?
Yeah, so I guess I've actually had 2. So at the beginning of my degree, I failed all of my classes my first semester, which is not something I tell many people, just because on some level it feels embarrassing. But I just, I wasn't used to being away from home. I moved into residence. It was a totally new life for me. I was having to fend for myself, as they say, help myself grow up, and I didn't have my mom, my sisters. So what happened was I really just got into the life of friends and socializing and really didn't put the time into school. And I failed all my classes. And when I got that email saying that I was on academic probation, I remember I was in the basement of my house at my mom's house in Corner Brook. It was Christmas vacation, and I felt like my life was going to end in that moment. I was like, what? I just got kicked out of university. Like, I didn't know what being on academic probation meant. I was like, I ruined this. It's done. So I chatted with some folks in residence about it because, again, I really had no idea what was going to happen. And they told me, like, no, you're not kicked out of university. It's just that going forward, you have to make sure that your grades are getting a little bit better, that you don't keep failing your classes. So from there, I really kind of fastened up my seatbelt and really just kind of plugged away at school a bit more because it really did. It scared me a lot. I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
it's totally scary.
Yeah, because I mean, you put so much time and money into university, and then to think it's all over in 1 second from one email was like, oh my gosh. But
Oh my
no.
God.
So yeah, very fortunate that it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But it really gave me the lesson that, I really have to get my stuff together, and I really have to start working hard in school. So that's kind of where I guess my work ethic has really come
Wow,
from.
no, that's really inspiring. And now you've only got 2 courses left to finish a degree.
Yep, almost there.
Almost there. In your university journey, what is the one decision you wish that you did not make?
Oh gosh. I said the other question was hard, but I think this is the hardest. One decision I wish I did not make. Honestly, I think it would be in my first 3 years of university, I turned away a lot of opportunities. And I'm someone who doesn't like to have a lot of regrets, because at the end of the day, where I am in my life right now is really great. Like, I'm happy with where I am. And, if I had taken up on those opportunities in my first 3 years, then maybe I wouldn't be where I am today. So, again, just very grateful to be where I am. But in those first 3 years of university, I just kind of, again, stuck to residence, stuck to my friends, socialized a lot, studied a little bit more after that first semester. But still, I didn't get involved. I didn't know, I was never in the UC. I didn't volunteer. I didn't do any of that kind of stuff. So I just wish that in my first 3 years, I kind of believed in myself a little bit more and recognized the importance of volunteering, and really started expanding on my skill sets then.
Nice. What advice do you want to give to the new students at Memorial that they're just coming in the fall?
Oh gosh, that one's an easy question.
Yeah.
Get involved. I think, you can talk about it, I can talk about it. Volunteering is huge, especially as a student, because, when we finish up, we're expected to have 5 years of work experience. But where are you going to get 5 years of work experience if you're still a student? And I think volunteering really is like the cheat sheet for that. So, you could get a job that involves leadership skills, or maybe you're someone who's doing computer science and you need web development skills. You can get that through volunteering. And, employers look at volunteer experiences as work experience. So it's not looked at any less. And I think that, again, volunteering is just really that cheat sheet for being able to secure that job once you graduate and develop those skills that you might not be able to develop in the classroom. So get involved, go to the Student Volunteer Bureau, find volunteer placements, and hopefully...
100%. Also, volunteering just introduces you to people on wherever you're volunteering. Like, I met you during volunteering. I met so many other people on campus during volunteering, where if I was sitting home and just, sitting by myself, wouldn't have happened, right? So definitely 100% volunteer. And there is this SVB on campus in the UC, which is like the center, the hub where you can just volunteer. The name is also Student Volunteer Bureau. So you can lots of tasks to do over there. And meet Lindsay. If you want to share your email address or Instagram, people maybe direct questions to you about business.
Yeah, so my email is LLN, as in Lindsay Lee Newman, 828 at mun.ca.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a huge thumbs up.
Listen, this guy is awesome. His videos are amazing. So seriously, big thumbs up, subscribe. You want to keep following this guy.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next episode.